In the current US and Israeli military operations against the Islamic Republic, there is now talks regarding whether or not the Americans and the Israelis would be targeting and destroying some of the Islamic Republic's energy infrastructure, leading to damages that would take years to fix even after the Islamic Republic is toppled, and causing a lot of damage to the wealth and the economy of the Iranian people, not just the Islamic Republic, for years to come. So far, attacks on infrastructure has been very limited, close to none. But given how this is going, there's a lot of concern that we might get to a point where power plants and other infrastructure might be targeted. I'm hearing some people saying that this is not going to happen. Also, some people saying that no, there's a genuine concern that this might happen. But I want to talk about whether or not, if it comes to that, the worst thing we can do is to turn against these military operations. This is difficult for a lot of people to accept because it's truly a loss. It's a big loss. But what you have to take into account is that is nothing compared to the suffering that comes from allowing the Islamic Republic to continue. Because my activism in the past couple of years required me to be in direct communication with activists and other people inside Iran on a daily basis, I know for a fact that I'm speaking on behalf of many Iranians when I say whatever it takes to get rid of the Islamic Republic, if this is needed to get rid of the Islamic Republic, and that's an important if. Obviously, the preference would be to avoid destroying any of the infrastructure if there is a way to get rid of the Islamic Republic without doing so. But if that is required, if that brings us closer to the day where there is no more Islamic Republic, if it helps us get there faster, then by all means, I know that I'm speaking on behalf of many Iranians when I say go for it. We Iranians know how to rebuild. We know how to rebuild our infrastructure. Do you know what we don't know how to do? We don't know how to bring back our fallen. That we cannot do. The people, not the infrastructure, the people the Islamic Republic took away from us and will continue to take away from us. If we allow this monstrous regime to continue, that's the true loss. That is something that cannot be rebuilt. Every single year, every single week, every single day that the Islamic Republic continues to live, the Iranian people don't. The greatest resource of Iran is not our oil. It's not any of our natural resources. The greatest resource of Iran is the Iranian people. And to save them, we're willing to pay whatever cost necessary. To be clear, I understand the cost of economic hardship. I know poverty kills. I'm not dismissing how damaging this is going to be to us for years to come. But I know for a fact that the damage in both wealth and lives, if the Islamic Republic is allowed to continue, will be much higher. People are raising the alarm and are trying to turn you and me against this military operation by pointing out that there are suggestions being made that the infrastructure might be targeted. I'm not against people pushing for coming up with a way that does not happen. Continue to do that, but be careful not to turn against this military operation if it comes to that. Keep pushing for other ways to get this done. But if it happens, do not stop your support for this military operation. To make you understand why I know we will be able to rebuild, compare what the concern is right now regarding what might happen to what did happen to Germany. After World War II, in 1945, Germany was essentially a wasteland. I'm not talking damages to certain infrastructure here and there. I'm talking about 70% of major cities completely destroyed. The currency was worthless. To say that Germany was bankrupt at that point is an understatement. It was a complete collapse. And now Germany is the leading economy in Europe. What happened to Germany is far worse than what people are concerned might happen in Iran. And they rebuilt. And I'll tell you why I think we Iranian people are also in a position that could replicate what happened in Germany. A lot of people compare what's happening to us in Iran to what happened in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'll tell you why that is not a fair comparison. And the recovery that Germany and Japan had after World War II resembles Iran much more than Iraq and Afghanistan. A lot of people think that Germany's recovery was because of the Marshall Plan and the $1.4 billion in aid that the United States gave to Germany. This might have helped, but the real reason why Germany managed to transform to the leading economy in Europe was its shift to a controlled economy to market economy. The fact that they had to rebuild from scratch, meaning that they had to build brand new facilities. Many other nations were stuck with aging pre-war machinery, while Germany was installing the most modern, efficient technology. But more than any of that, it was the German people and their knowledge. Their knowledge on how to run factories and global business. This is why I say the most important resource every nation, not just Iran, every nation, their number one resource is their human resource. Because the natural resources that you have are a certain amount of wealth that you have. But your human resource is not wealth, it's wealth generation. To make you understand, having a lot of natural resources is like somebody that has a lot of money in their bank. But human resource, being rich in that, is more like a person that has a high income, that knows how to make money every single month. So even if your bank account is empty, this is a person that has the skills to make money. Again, it's the difference between having wealth, having certain amount of wealth, and having wealth generating ability. That's why human capital is the most important resource of every society. And you could tell that you have a high level of that when your people are educated, entrepreneurial, hardworking, and very importantly, they have the right values. And guess what? The Iranian people have that. If you understand this, you would understand the true cost of the Islamic Republic on the Iranian people. It's the cost of liberation versus the cost of continued oppression. If the cost of liberation is physical infrastructure, the cost of continued oppression is the human capital, which is the main source of a nation's wealth. People are the most important asset. Bridges, power plants, factories, they can be rebuilt in 5 or 10 years. The human damage is generational. And the problem is that a lot of people don't understand that because a huge portion of the human damage is invisible. Because beyond the people that the Islamic Republic murders, we also have brain drain and a broken educational system. When I say the Iranian people are very educated, a lot of this is because of the investment that Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah made in our education system before the Islamic Republic came into power. Over the decades, the influence of the Islamic Republic in our education system means that that level of education will not be there for our future generations. You have to understand it's really hard to recover from this. Another problem is the corruption that reduces trust in a society, and it's another way that it damages the human capital. Recovering from all of this is not easy. And the longer the Islamic Republic stays, the more difficult it's going to be for us to recover from it. And because this cost is not as visible as and not as newsworthy as the power plant being blown up, a lot of people don't understand how significant it is. Many historians and economists agree that it's the human potential that is the engine behind economic miracles. The damage of the Islamic Republic is referred to as the lost decades. Iran was going through its own economic miracle under Pahlavi rule, and it was very clearly going to become a global tech and industrial hub. And by now, it would have been ahead of countries like South Korea or Taiwan. But now, instead, we are one of the most isolated countries in the world. What happened in Iran in the last 5 decades is the greatest lost opportunity in history. The potential damage to the infrastructure in the current military operations would be like a drop in the ocean compared to what the Islamic Republic has already done to us. The Iranian people have what it takes to rebuild their country. Our values and our goals and our unity and our national identity and our patriotism means that comparisons to Iraq and Afghanistan are ridiculous. Nobody needs to do nation building for the Iranian people. The Iranian people will do their own nation building. The only thing the Iranian people need help with is to remove this obstacle from their way. They can take care of the rest. And the whole world would benefit from it. If you want to talk to me, there's a link in the description where you could join our discussion group. Let me know what you think. Your comments do influence what videos I make next. Let me know if these videos are helpful. Those types of comments do motivate me to make more videos. My name is Armin Navabi. I'm Israel Chai. Long live America. Javid Shah. Payande Iran.